He looked like someone's favorite neighbor, clean-cut, educated, the kind of man who held doors open and smiled with careful symmetry. His name was Ted Bundy. Behind the charm was a void with teeth. A mass burned in 1946 in Vermont, raised believing his mother was his sister. Bundy grew up inside a small maze of secrets. Identity blurred early. By the time he reached the University of Washington, he was studying psychology, volunteering in politics, and mastering the art of appearing harmless. He was bright, polite. Controlled. Control mattered. The lure in the early 1970s. Young women began disappearing in Washington and Oregon. College campuses felt like open fields, too. He often wore a fake cast of slang, asking for help carrying books to his car. Compassion became the trapdoor. Witnesses remembered his name, Ted. The disappearances spread from the Pacific Northwest to Utah and Colorado, then Florida. He didn't just kill, he returned to crime scenes. He revisited victims. He collected memories like trophies stored behind his eyes. By 1974 and 1975, the body count climbed. Though law enforcement agencies struggled to connect the cases across state lines, communication systems were slow. Jurisdictional pride was thick. Bundy drifted through the cracks. The escapes arrested in 1975 for kidnapping in Utah. Bundy represented himself in court. He was confident enough to believe rules were optional. In 1977, he escaped custody in Colorado. Not once, twice, the second escape carried into Florida, where the violence escalated. In January 1978, he entered the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University. 2 young women were murdered. 2 others were brutally attacked weeks later. 12-year-old Kimberly Leach was abducted and killed. The mask was slipping. The monster was sprinting. The trial, his Florida trial in 1979, became one of the first nationally televised murder trials in the United States. Cameras adored him. He treated the courtroom like a stage, flirting with supporters, cross-examining witnesses, proposing marriage to a former girlfriend during testimony. Spectacle and horror shared the same spotlight. He was convicted and sentenced to death. The confessions' execution approached in 1989. Bundy began confessing in fragments. He admitted to 30 homicides across multiple states, though investigators believe the true number may be higher. In his final interviews, he blamed pornography. He blamed society. He blamed anything but the core of himself. On January 24, 1989, he was executed in Florida's electric chair. Outside the prison, crowds gathered in celebration, holding signs and cheering as if darkness itself had been switched off. But evil rarely vanishes that cleanly. The aftermath Bundy's case forced law enforcement to rethink interstate communication. It reshaped public understanding of serial offenders. It shattered the myth that monsters must look monstrous. He didn't fit the caricature. He was educated, articulate, seemingly ordinary. That ordinariness is what chills. Because the story of Ted Bundy is not only about brutality, it is about disguise, about how easily charisma can become camouflage, about how danger sometimes wears a friendly face and asks politely for help. And somewhere in the archives of American crime, his name still hums like a live wire, reminding us that evil does not always announce itself with thunder. Sometimes it knocks gently,